Ticker symbol VIRI got the upside that we were looking for. Let's go ahead and go over the potentials for the coming week. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a VIRI technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this happy Friday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, this is VIRI on the monthly time frame, and the reason why I brought up the monthly time frame is specific to the Gaussian channel. Okay, so this Gaussian channel, we officially have regained the inside of this as of last month, and now we actually have we have 13 days and 21 hours to close this monthly iteration, right? So what I would like to point out here is actually something fairly simple. It looks like the high of this candle marks that $2.13, which is essentially the top side that we were facing today, right? $2.13, literally that top side that we got, right? So that is very likely the reason why we actually pulled back, because that target is very confluent with the mean band right up here at 232. Now, I know I do actually have targets located around that 232 target, but seeing how we're actually closing, there could be a pullback from this area. Okay, so what does that opportunity present? Well, first of all, I did mention this, right? I did mention that we would essentially face the top side here of our implied projection. So first of all, it was actually a target that we took in the consideration here, right? It was the top side of this symmetrical triangle all the way to the bottom side, right? So if I were to actually extend this, I'm actually coming in a little too hot, right? So I can bring this down ever so slightly, and that top side is being let's see. It's actually right about here, okay? So that's, it was suggesting a topside target of this symmetrical triangle of 210. Okay, so that's pretty much the 209 that we faced on this iteration here. These are daily candles, okay? So we faced at 209, very close to the top side of the 210, right? So, and then I was mentioning to everyone that I still think that the candle can actually clear it, the next day candle or the following day, whatever that was, just so happened to be today, right? I really was convinced that we can actually succeed the true psychological target from the symmetrical triangle here, or the pennant. In this case, pennants are built during an uptrend, right? So, and that would be consistent of two converging trend lines, with the price action converging in between two. Upon conversion or a complete contraction here, then we can actually have breakout out of this, and then another validation here of the newly converted resistance into support, and then price action would essentially continue to the upside, thus meeting that target. Those are just the traditional trading rules of trading a pennant. Okay, you guys. So now, what I was saying about a pullback is specifically this, okay? So when we start printing these candles here that have long wicks to the upside and then have these small bodies at the bottom side, those are called shooting star candles, okay? So those usually present kind of weakness here specifically to the longs, right? So, I mean, it happens, guys. It's a normal thing. Another thing here is if you take a look at what's printing here on the buy daily. We just started the buy daily today, right? This new candle. So I know that we have an eternity to close this, right? We still have the opportunity to come back down, reload, and then take price action to the upside, right? So what I'm afraid of here is that, the 3 days and 21 hours, my goodness, it's going to take some time for us to kind of chop around within this candle here. And then we would actually make our implied move. What I'm afraid of here is that the second buy daily, the third actually, 1, 2, and then the next and last buy daily candle would print a similar situation like this. That would actually give us a 3 black crows formation. So that 3 black crows formation is a bearish formation, and it does suggest a downside, right? So, this formation itself already suggested a downside. In fact, price action did go down ever so slightly here to 186, and then it actually shot up to that top side of about, we can hold it right up here, and it says a high of 213. Okay, so that also had a lot of relevance with actually the I think it was one of the geometrical levels that we had. Let's see. I'm gonna, yeah, it was actually on the chart that we were on, right? 215 at the 3.618. This was something that we talked about, right? We came just shy of that, okay? And it is understanding that we would get a retracement back from that zone. Okay, so what I did mention actually yesterday was the potential of touching on that zone and then retracing back to validate the area of the newly converted resistance into support from this breakout of this range here, right? So we were looking at a chop range right in here within this pennant, and we noticed that we had a chop range, or the top side of the range was right over here at about 177. Okay, so now I guess temporarily speaking, right, I'm probably going to have to favor that, right? So, and it's a range to look at, right? So a range of support between the area of 177 and 180 at the 2.272, okay? Potential retracement to that area before a continuation to the upside. Conditions do have to be met, though, okay? We have to validate that support as soon as we get there with the ideally daily candles, or even a minimum 8-hour candles, right? That would be ideal, but you know, it's always safer to get the daily candles to validate those things. Okay, so this is the 3-day Gaussian band, and you can see that we actually broke outside of the band, came back and tested it, and then suggested a continuation to the upside. So this is this 3-day candle just started today as well. Okay, and this was essentially the target that we were looking for. So let's move on and see if we can continue validating here. Remember, this 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest that has that first standard deviation. I'm sorry, the upper bound of the first standard deviation. This one here is of 125%. That signal did fire and it's still on. But please remember that this is a 50-day average. It's been probably 9 or 8. Okay, so it hasn't been that long since it actually fired, right? So literally here. Right, so and this was a 5-day, right, and then now we're on this one. So, and I think we're gonna start the new 5-day period on Monday. So in reality, we've been at it for 5 days, and or 6 counting today, right? So that's about. I mean, I'm sorry, no, 6 counting Monday. So yeah, that would be. I mean, we're still early here, okay? So the important part is that we absolutely have DMI support. We have DMI plus, which is the bulls. Still on top with a very, very strong market trending ADX here at 32.66%, and we're getting that decrease in volatility there. That usually ends up with a pretty nice move to the upside. I love it. All right, you guys. So now, let's go ahead and take. Oh, you know what? Here is where I can show you something. Okay, so let me get rid of these drawings here, and I want you to notice the range of the monthly candles here, okay? Because this is absolutely important. I know. You know, this is gonna probably draw something else. Yeah, I definitely need to draw something, right? So let me get rid of this, and I'm gonna get rid of this pennant since we already saw it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take in this target here. Okay, the opening of this candle. What is that opening? So that's 177. Okay, so that's already the support that I was talking to you about on the daily chart. Okay, so now this candle here, the closing of this candle is leading to, let's see, there we go, 172, okay? But to the upside of that, that would be the range of this candle top. That leads to about 181. It's already super curious that would be the top side of that prior monthly candle and the opening of our current monthly candle. Let's go ahead and go back to this chart over here. So this is the zone that I'm talking to you about, a potential support. What are the targets there? Check it out. To the top side of this candle right over here in the buy daily, 177 to 181. Okay, let's go back to that monthly. Look at this, 177 to 181 perfectly from the, wow, yeah, the opening of this candle here and the top side of that candle there, guys. This is absolutely relevant. I would have to favor that area there for a potential pullback, and the RSI is kind of suggesting that. Okay, so look at this, 30-minute immediate short-term time frame crossing crossing below that SMA 14 represented by the pink line. Okay, so now let's go into the 6-hour time frame. So the 6-hour time frame is also making a bearish cross below the SMA 14. This is typical for an asset to do, guys, especially after a huge run like this, like VIRI has seen, right? So now the 8-hour is the one that kind of has my attention here. Okay, so the 8-hour could potentially be at support right now. Okay, but if we what time frame was this one, right? This is the 6-hour here. Let me even go, let's go tighter. So let me see, this is the 4-hour time frame crossing below that SMA 14 into the 6-hour. It's also bleeding into that. Okay, so which means that the 6-hour is also bleeding that downside into the 8-hour, which would then bleed into the 12-hour, and the 12-hour has support. Okay, so the support is actually here. So that means that we're going to face some downside for the next maybe 1 or 2 days, okay? And that's going to be a reaccumulation event so that we can continue on to the upside. Okay, you guys, and I think it's absolutely healthy for the asset to actually face that. Okay, so you know what? Yeah, I really do think I'm gonna favor these targets right over here, you guys. So 177 to 181. Are there any moving averages within that we can actually take into consideration here, right? So actually, maybe. Let me load up the EMA 9 and the EMA 7. And okay, I would say maybe by the time, this is the bi-daily chart, right? So maybe by the time that we do end up getting into this target here, then yeah, that moving average may as well be there. Okay, I think the daily may already be there. So yeah, there we go. Man, literally right there, both of them. So I'm gonna color them for you so that you can see just how confluent these moving averages are with us. Okay, so I'm gonna make it just a little bit okay, so it's not bright, or does it want to be bright, or what's going down? Okay, let's go ahead and just get that up. And yeah, this one here, right? So let's display that. Okay, there we go, that one got it. And now this one right over here, right? So this one is actually, you know what, let's just color this one. Sorry, this one here, we're just going to color it something else, right? Just so that it can be bright. Okay, so EMA 7. Oh, I'm sorry, I colored the 200. My goodness, man, what's going on? Somebody's dropping the ball over here. Okay, 200 moving average, get out of the way. EMA 9, let's just go ahead and get you bright. And also we'll just make you a darker shade of whatever. Okay, so yeah, these are the two moving averages right down here. Okay, so we want to make sure that we can actually find that support, because it would be highly dangerous if we didn't. Okay, so notice the correlation here. This is your EMA. This is your EMA 9. This is your EMA 7, located right in the discretionary zone that we had already spoken of. Okay, you guys, and it just so happens that it also has support from a geometrical target. Okay, so the geometrical target, the moving averages right over here, also the top side of the range via the candles, all of that stuff rhyming, you guys. All of that stuff is usually how you find those targets. All right, so we would have to see how the price action is feeling within this area here, but I do see a potential bounce happening from this zone here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just keep an eye on the asset, and yeah, we'll move forward. But I think this is a pretty good place to leave it off, guys. Please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, please remember that Monday is closed for trading. Okay, so we're going to be back in trading on Tuesday. So in observance of Juneteenth, Monday will be closed. Okay, so with that said, I wish you well a very, very good long weekend if you have it. And I will catch you at the bell on Tuesday. Adios.